Okay, part 3, leg, giddy leg. Okay, I'm just playing. What is up with my gang? What is up with my squad? T gang in this thing. What's poppin' with y'all? What's up, T gang? Welcome back to my channel. So today I will be doing part 3. I know it's been a long one. I'm telling y'all, it's been a long one. North London's bloodiest gang war, OFB versus N9. I told y'all in part 2. I don't remember lamps. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not too sure because he has an accent, so I'm not too sure if I'm saying it correctly. I just found out that he got killed, and I'm still trying to figure that out, so I'm a little all over the place right now. But we're gonna get back to it, so smash the like button, comment something you want to see below, and subscribe and click the bell and join the gang. If you're new, then definitely subscribe because we're going nowhere but follow me on my social medias. Definitely follow me on my Instagram, _is_Tania's_world, and follow me on my TikTok, _is_Tania's world. But we're gonna get back to it.
SJ from OFB was involved in this incident. 3 men were stabbed, and the CCTV of the entire fight inside the McDonald's leaked, which again is way too shocking to show you on YouTube. But anyway, with this kind of shit going down, it's safe to say that the beef between crews from Tottenham and Green City is truly frying. And the hatred between these two groups has of course made its way to drill music, and by this point at the start of 2019, Bando K, SJ and Double L's have become the hottest trio in drill music. On January the 26th, their song Purge drops, which is littered with references to catching and shooting anything that's green, and at least in SJ's case, the entire world would soon see just how serious him and his friends were about catching anything green and killing them. As on February the 21st, 2019, SJ takes his mother's Peugeot 307 along with Sneaks and OSAP from NPK out for a drive, eventually parking this car back at the Broadwater Farm Estate, with the car being a meeting point for a gang meetup the following day. And then on the evening of February the 22nd, 2019, SJ would meet with NPK affiliates OSAP, Sneaks, as well as 3 other men at his mother's parked car. At the car they would change clothes, riding out around an hour later on push bike towards Wood Green. This group of cyclists grew to include SJ, Sneaks, Trills, OSAP, Shems, and 2 other unidentified males riding through the city with their faces covered. Upon the arrival to a Wood Green McDonald's, Sneaks, Trills, and OSAP, along with an unidentified male, enter the restaurant and attempt to rob somebody. And then after this altercation, the group spot another group of 4 people, 2 of whom are confirmed affiliates of Wood Green's 2-2 mob. This includes a man named Jason Frazier and another named Kamali Gabardine Link, aka K1. So after countless lyrics saying they'll kill anything they catch that's green, after spotting their green ops in Wood Green territory, all of the Tottenham boys involved in the ride-out drop their bikes, with some drawing weapons and running towards that group of enemies.
Dang, they pulling up on bikes. Bikes and, what is it, ain't it called a moped? Freaking bikes. We not pulling up in cars in London, we pulling up on bikes and mopeds.
Semi-automatic handgun firing indiscriminately in the direction of the Wood Green members, ultimately missing the target with a bullet going into a nearby shop, narrowly missing innocent customers. Meanwhile, SJ and Sneaks both pull out large silver knives. Trills pulled out a black knife, and OSAP had his hand in his coat, which the court were told represented a concealed weapon. At this point, the Wood Green affiliates attempted to flee the scene whilst being chased by this gang of masked and armed young men. In fact, these scenes were even captured on amateur video by shocked diners eating nearby in a Nando's restaurant. So, attempting to flee, K1 and Frazier split up, taking different routes to try and get back to their car. And during this attempted escape, Frazier is cornered, where he's beaten, stabbed 8 times, and shot in the buttocks with a shotgun. Moments before the gang are able to deliver a fatal blow to him, however, K1 arrives in a silver Vauxhall Corsa, driving over the gang's bikes and crushing the one belonging to Trills. In this failed attempt to scare off the attackers, K1 unfortunately became the primary target of their attack, with the drillers from Tottenham leaving behind Frazier, who miraculously survives those injuries. So at this point, everybody is running towards K1 in the Vauxhall Corsa that he's driving, with Shems raising a handgun ready to fire at the car, and K1 trying to spin around the car, but ultimately being trapped between 2 other parked vehicles.
Dang.
And whilst he's pinned there, the gang unload on that Corsa, attempting to get to K1. One person shoots out a car window before jumping on the bonnet, trying to smash through the windscreen with a gun. Another person jumps on the hood of the car with a machete, trying to chop through the glass. Now for the record, K1 allegedly had a shotgun in the trunk of this car and multiple knives, all of which he couldn't retrieve whilst this attack was going on. And so at this point, it seems that K1 realizes that he is stuck, and his only option is to flee the car, quickly jumping out and running into the nearby Coffee and Cream hair salon. And this shop was open, full of customers, including a 4-year-old, an 8-year-old, a baby, KB and their shocked parents. But the gang apparently weren't bothered by the amount of witnesses. And so as they rushed into the store, the gang descended on K1 with knives out, inflicting multiple vicious stab wounds, leaving K1 fatally wounded, ultimately dying later in the hospital. K1 was killed in one of the most savage and shocking murders to ever take place on the streets of London. The attack was described by the BBC as reminiscent of a Hollywood film, but to make things even more crazy, after the murder took place, the entire group cycled together back to Broadwater Farm, right up to SJ's mum's Peugeot, changing their clothes in front of the estate's many CCTV cameras, with the police apparently using Broadwater Farm CCTV surveillance video to identify 5 people involved in this attack. But that identification would take some time, and for at least a little while the police would have no idea who was responsible. In fact, just after the brazen murder, police immediately made their way to the Broadwater Farm estate, even stopping Trills of NPK, who gave the police false information, and since he'd already hidden his weapon, the police had nothing to hold him on, with him walking away from officers boldly proclaiming, "I hope you lot cut down on knife violence," and all that. But if you thought that was brazen, things only get more shocking. As following the murder of K1 with the direct involvement of SJ continues rapping along with Bando K and Double L's, dropping numerous songs in the month that followed the murder of K1, including the May 5th release of the trio's biggest track, Ambush, which has unflattering lyrics in it where SJ talks about pressing triggers and being a chest shot chinger when it comes to stabbings. Now obviously these are just general lines talking about the lifestyle that he witnessed growing up, but unfortunately for SJ, this track and its references to the violent gang life he lived would be used in court as supporting evidence that SJ and his associates were known to carry weapons and engage in gang activity. But Ambush was really one of the more tame examples, because there were numerous examples of SJ and other members dropping lyrics that seemed to reference the killing of K1.
K was in my risen hill, fuck karate with street fighting Joe.
The worst of it really came out during the OFB Youngers crib session with Tim Westwood. Double L's is dropping lyrics about raising the crime rate in the N22 area. Jay went on to diss Lamps numerous times too, and the MPK Youngers were also there to drop some incredibly disrespectful lyrics as well. In fact, some of them were so offensive they ended up being censored or taken out of the final version that was posted to YouTube, but because a lot of these lyrics are in other songs or freestyles, it's pretty easy to find out what they were saying. Like MPK Tugger referencing the crew's involvement in the 4th Street stabbing outside of McDonald's at the start of 2019, as well as another brazen line that also appears in Kelvin's coffin, saying, "Something got tanned in the 9, my mum's like, oh no, what happened? I said you're late on news, the gang's just done a quadruple stabbing." This was seemingly a reference to a 20...
He didn't have to say it like he was really rapping a song. He could have just read it. He had to read it like he was rapping it too.
Teen incident where 4 men were stabbed in Edmonton following a car crash, with the authorities linking it to a triple drive-by that occurred only 24 hours before, where a 22-year-old man and a 16-year-old boy were both injured by a shotgun blast in a minicab. Madness. But one of the most shocking lines that had also appeared on the Sin Squad song Anti-Green saw MPK members mentioning Y-Dot, who is allegedly a relative of K1, saying that he's suicidal and that they're going to shoot him in the face, with Tugger going on to rap lyrics that were also used in MPK's True Story Part 2, where they mocked Y-Dot for apparently being depressed about K1's murder, with the final incriminating line being delivered by Sneaks, who was quite literally there for the K1 murder, saying, "Anything green get bun, Lamps got put in a spliff, and K1 got put in a blunt." Well, this wasn't a great look. By the 21st of April, Trills and Shems of MPK had been arrested. Then on May the 16th, 2019, it's revealed that SJ has also been arrested for murder, only days after their Westwood crib session is recorded, with the final suspects being OSAV and Sneaks, who were arrested on the 10th of July. And what's weird is that even facing a murder charge, SJ didn't even attempt to keep a low profile. On June the 2nd, he drops his track Youngest in Charge from jail, which included lines dissing his ops from 3x3, E1 and ZT for just starting to rap, with them having only recently dropped their first proper disrespectful track, Just the Beginning, in May 2019. And in Youngest in Charge, SJ also drops lyrics about spotting ops and taking them out, and dissing Lamps again. Funnily enough, it was later revealed that whilst SJ was sitting in prison awaiting his murder trial, he was apparently offered a £150,000 record deal off the strength of these tracks he was releasing from prison. Anywho, with the overwhelming amount of actual evidence that the authorities had on SJ and the NPK crew, it's no surprise then that in December 2019, SJ is found guilty of murder in the K1 case, along with Sneaks, Trills, Shems and OSAV from NPK, with SJ, Sneaks and OSAV getting 21 years in jail, Trills 25 and Shems a whopping 28 years in prison. And in a way, what happened to SJ was really...
I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably be a little upset if I was the one that got the most years out of everybody. Wait, hold on, no, we all get the same, we all equal here. 28, the few that got 21 and then the one that got 25 gonna be out way before, but it's still around the same time, because we talking about freaking going to jail, you going away for some time, it probably still feel equal, but I would still be a little upset, like, wait, Why do I get 20? Why do I get 28? Why am I separated from everybody else?
Of the consequences of living this rogue life. SJ was rapping about being real, and he really was involved, but the unfortunate result is he now has to live with the consequences of getting caught. But just when you thought the story was over, shit gets crazy once again. As when it came for the final sentencing in this case, a massive fight broke out in court as SJ and the 4 other MPK members all blamed each other for the murder, accusing each other of snitching, with many of these accusations playing out in the run-up to the sentencing in jailhouse Snapchat posts between the defendants, with all of this pressure building up to a crazy moment at the sentencing when all 5 defendants have a wild fistfight in the dock at court. It apparently took 10 court officers to restrain the defendants, and the fight was apparently so wild that sneaks of NPK's stepdad jumped 9 foot down from the public gallery into the floor of the courtroom to get involved in the fight. That's a long way down. And when he was down there, he apparently even tussled directly with the prosecutor of the case, Oliver Glasgow QC, who he apparently threatened to murder whilst being restrained by courtroom security. A bonehead move that ended up landing him in jail for 7 months too. And understandably, this last-minute beef between OFB's SJ and the MPK crew who had all done the crime together caused a split between the formerly allied OFB and MPK, which continues to this day, meaning that OFB members would now have to look over their shoulder for ops and former friends turned ops. And the sad truth is that while SJ was sat in jail awaiting punishment for the murder that he'd been involved in, out on the streets, OFB would be clashing with Edmonton harder than ever, as a young generation of green bandana rocking drill rappers would emerge calling themselves 3x3 and drawing out the OFB rappers at the highest level. Despite the fact that by 2019, Tion Wayne had become a bona fide rap star with 4
It's an ad.
songs under his belt, he clearly was still in touch with the streets, because on June the 17th, 2019, Kush from OFB was caught on camera at a set of traffic lights by Tion Wayne, who filmed him doing the dash, cutting through a red light to escape.
Come on the car! Come on the car, where you going? Come look at these guys, bro. Look at you, look!
After this, Kush replied in a video, not looking particularly shaken up by the incident.
I'm sitting in the fucking traffic. I'm looking at my phone. Then I've seen a man run up behind like my car. He's running up behind me, you get me? Gone to my driver's side. But then he's got his phone out. He's like, come out the car, come out the car. I've looked at him. I've looked to the left. I'm seeing another youth running up next to me. Then I've looked back at him. That's when he's tried to take the video from me. Look back at him. Yeah, man, I've just popped my little signs and I cut.
However, other OFB affiliates woke up to the footage and weren't too happy. RV at Tion Wayne saying, when I saw you, you said you ain't got beef with a man down. From here, we'd see the likes of RB and A1 from the 9 going back and forth on Twitter, and clearly people from all sides were nervous being out public and armed.
I still ain't forgot about that name.
This being the very month that a viral clip circulated of Bando K seen tweaking after a fan snuck up on him from behind. And even those at the very top of the group didn't feel like they could be safe out in public without being armed. Because that same month, on the 25th of June 2019, Heady One is caught with a knife after a traffic stop where he ran from the police. He fortunately makes bail so he can play Glastonbury and release his new album, but he is later jailed for possession of that knife at the very height of his career. So between catching that case and going to jail, Heady One releases his commercial mixtape Music and Road, which is a runaway success, peaking at number 5 in the UK albums charts and containing his hit solo song Both, which landed at number 13 on the singles charts. With both of these projects cementing Heady One's place as one of the true goats of the drill scene. But while Heady's going commercial and making music that represents an evolution away from the street activity he was formerly known for, in contrast, Farm Block's top driller RV is still on smoke, releasing his excellent Savage EP, which is just drill bangers back to back. Definitely go and check that out if you haven't. And the project itself happens to contain another smasher of a song, Crep Shop, featuring the entire trio of SJ, Bando K and Double L's, with this releasing whilst SJ is still on jail awaiting his trial, with that song including a famous bar that's appeared on numerous other OFB songs and freestyles, saying try gun lean, get shot from the backseat, a diss aimed at Russ who had a song Gun Lean, and collaborated with Tion Wayne.
That's how tight how he just said.
In fact, from here, numerous OFB youngers would release tracks where they went at Tion Wayne calling him a joker or a muppet, but the M9 and the 3x3 boys clearly weren't taking this lightly. As I mentioned previously, much to the disappointment of SJ, in May 2019, the 3x3 youngers E1 and ZT released their breakout track Just the Beginning, which was littered with disses towards Tottenham. And by September 2019, 3x3 was spotted on social media recording their own Tim Westwood crib session. And you know these get super grimy In fact, the 3x3 crib session was quickly taken down for harassment and bullying. And that's because it had so many disrespectful lyrics in it. Like lines from the 3x3 song No Cap, where they say they smoke Kobe, lines from Just the Beginning saying they're smoking numerous people, and the disrespect in the music is soon accompanied by disrespect on the street.
Okay, now I don't know if he's talking about YouTube, if this is like on TV or something out in London. If they could take that stuff down, look at freaking United States. Freaking everybody talking about smoking on somebody. I'm gonna be honest, United States really ain't all that. I'm trying to go.
On September 17, 2019, there's a shooting at Kenny's Barbers in Wood Green. RV posts up a snap of him at the location laughing. Now, that post goes a lot deeper than you might think, because apparently in 2012, a 15-year-old boy was stabbed there, a case in which RV was actually implicated way back, with him being sentenced to 7 years in a youth offenders institute at the time, and there was another shooting at that same location in 2014. Then in November, Trapo from OFB claimed that 3x3 actually ran him over, with 3x3 members clapping back on Snap seemingly acknowledging this went down. A couple weeks after that, Frogger and Heady One are all up on Snapchat mocking the ops once again, and as we get into 2020, at the top of the year, Heady One is finally sent to jail for 6 months for getting caught with that knife the previous year. Meanwhile, SJ is still sat in jail, settling into his next few decades in the cam, still recording and releasing freestyles, dissing dead ops from his cell.
I heard that song already.
The split between OFB and NPK that happened after
Locked up
ended up reaching the streets in February 2020 when NPK members allegedly attacked OFB members with knives, once again in a hair salon, an incident that was caught on video and once again way too shocking to show you on YouTube. And so while Heady One is sat in jail at the top of 2020 after being caught with a knife, Tion Wayne is just going from strength to strength after his appearance on that NSG single Options. By May 2020, he had racked up a whopping 7 entries on the UK singles charts, including Bally with Swams and Keisha and Becky with Russ, at which point he would pop up on a track with the leader of the most feared gang in all of Watford, the Sidemen, appearing on the tune Houdini with KSI, that charted at number 6, and then the track I Don't Know, with Stormzy and Dutchavelli that hit number 7. Basically, Tion Wayne was on a roll, everything he touched turned to gold, and clearly, the ops weren't going to be happy about this. In July 2020, when Tion Wayne is spotted in the studio with Birmingham rapper Mist, RV pipes up on Twitter, dissing them both, with Tion clapping back, saying, "Lol, you're so selective, it's embarrassing, laughing face. You're a big man, keep it on the roads and stop tweeting. Fix your career and your bank account before you come on here trying to be a comedian, you waste man. This is the only clout I'm giving you," with Tion's description of them as being selective, referring to the fact that if RV is pissed off that Mist is working with one of his ops, Tion Wayne, why didn't he have that same energy for sharp-topping king of grime Stormzy, who a year before working with Tion Wayne on the track I Don't Know, collaborated with Heady One on the track Audacity, which charted at number 2, and again only 3 months after this back and forth appearing with Stormzy again on Heady's hit song Ain't It Different along with AJ Tracy, giving Heady One a number 2 chart hit, the highest single song performance of his career. But regardless of the perceived selectiveness, RV still decided to clap back at Tion, saying, "Drill music really corrupting people's brains, lol. When man were doing Afro beats, no one had any energy or any chat for me, especially when we were face to face. But now, everyone's a gangster." With Tion replying again, saying, "When we were face to face, you didn't say or do shit, my guy. Lol, what are you on about? These lies, your hairline can't keep up, bro. Pack it in." Now, to their credit, Tion Wayne and RV are both very funny. But the verbal wasn't done, because only 2 days after this back and forth, Abracadabra from OFB comes through and drops his enormous track On Deck. And this features extensive lyrics dissing the N9 boys, and questioning if they have any guns on their estate, with Abracadabra dropping these disses while flipping lyrics from Tion Wayne's very own song I Don't Know. Then, when the OFB All-Star remix drops the following month, Abra brings through pretty much the whole of the Broadwater Farm estate, lined up to pop shots at both the 9 boys and the Dudes. But while the rest of OFB were on gang business, Heady One is handling business. After getting out of jail in April 2020, he would get to work, and by July, Heady One was making the biggest move a UK drill rapper has probably ever made in their career, releasing the Only You freestyle featuring Canadian drill rapper Drizzy Drake, taking Heady One's reputation to a whole new level internationally.
Okay, y'all know the deal. Taking me nearly all freaking day to get one video filmed.
Heady One completely washed Drake on this track, even though Drake's verse was very, very good. And hell, it sounds like Drake agrees with me, because around the time of the release of the song, Drizzy himself came out to say that Heady One is the best drill artist in the world. The Only You freestyle hit number 5 in the UK singles charts and charted at numerous other countries internationally. But most people that heard the track probably didn't even realise what Heady was even talking about. The song has lines mentioning Boogie B's murder case, and the song ends on a lyric where Heady basically says that he's trying to give guns to his youngers because the beef in his area is on, and they're straight up 2C sliding for the gang. And I tell you what, Heady wasn't lying about the beef frying, because literally only 3 days after his Only You freestyle drops, there's a triple shooting on the Broadwater Farm estate.
Police were called here to the Broadwater Farm estate just before 1 a.m. this morning to reports of gunfire. When they got here, they discovered 3 individuals who had been shot at. Now, the police are keen to trace a car that was used in the shooting. Now, it's believed that
Two groups would occur on October the 8th, 2020, when Ispot from OFB is stabbed in the eye on a train by 3 teenagers armed with machetes, apparently one of whom was as young as 14 years old. There's a lot of rumours about exactly who was involved in this, which I don't want to spread, but it has been suggested that those involved might have had ties to both 3x3 and NPK, with the fact that both 3x3 and NPK members posted on social media mocking the situation after it happened. Apparently the 3 teens responsible have been charged with attempted murder along with lesser charges, and it had even been said on the news that the individual attacked had been left blind in one eye. It would take a few months for Ispot to actually come out and address the situation personally, eventually revealing on Snapchat that he was indeed stabbed near his right eye and in his hand in an unfair 3-on-1 fight, with him suggesting that those responsible had gone on to say that Ispot had stabbed them first in court.
Watch the ad pop up.
We're now closing in on the conclusion of this story, but not before getting to one of the craziest things to happen as part of this feud. As we get into 2020, the back and
I know we're not going to Dubai. Oh, it looks so pretty seeing them.
forth
Hour,
and the Greens
we
of
done knocked
89
off a whole
3x3
hour.
is as active as
Thank
ever.
you,
And in
Jesus.
November of 2020, rappers from both OFB and the 9 are spotted on social media cooling out in Dubai. And while they're out there, Turner and Tion are seen posted up at a club saying that the ops know where to find them.
Niggas talk about be safe, yeah? Listen, we fucking turn up at it.
be safe.
Listen, the real deal. YouTube gangster, internet killer. You see me, big chance, yeah? I only got one thing to say, yeah? Hold on. Look at the green. Look at the yellow. Alright, one thing to say, yeah? Niggas know where we was gonna be for 2 days, and niggas not pull up.
I like his
They don't
accent.
smoke about it. Be safe, bro. You niggas be safe.
This led to Bando K responding on social media, saying that the Niners aren't really
And
with
his
it.
voice.
Guys need to stop the bad boy chat, man. Especially when you know they're not with it, man. Stop it.
I hate that song.
Dickheads, man.
And throughout their stay in Dubai, the Niners and the O would go back and forth. Tion posted that they all look up to him. Bando replied saying him and Heady One are outside in Dubai. Heady piped up saying social media is killing his people. And at a certain point, the disrespect got turned up to a whole other level when the OFB guys started mocking Turner from the 9 for a recording of him apparently crying over a girl. No comment on that one, Turner. But Turner clapped back, saying that it's these guys always initiating beef with him and that he just responds. But this international social media spat eventually came to a head in a violent and the most inappropriate fashion, because who would have thought that these 2 warring crews from North London gang sets would find themselves together on the same flight home from their Dubai holiday. Now, around this time, amateur video began to surface depicting Tion Wayne and Heady One in a physical confrontation on board a flight set to fly out Dubai, where apparently a drink was thrown, followed by Tion Wayne taking what looked like a full swing punch at Heady One, but thankfully missed / was absorbed by everybody's favourite grow house robber, Morrison. Look him up in your own time. Anywho, whilst Tion is swinging on Heady, Turner is having a scrap with Desi on the other side of the plane, with Desi seemingly armed with a plastic shank that you would use to chef up an in-flight meal. Now, the short clips that circulated from this incident didn't really tell the entire story, but they sure did set the internet on fire with a raft of hilarious memes that followed. Once again, the clips of the fight on the plane are a little too spicy to show you on YouTube, but eventually, Heady One would come through commenting on the situation on Twitter, saying, little altercation with some gangsters coming out for a fight with their phones out, clearly some clout chasing, I'm good, I'm free, a hair on my head hasn't been touched, I'm having dinner, steady. To which Tion Wayne clapped back on Twitter himself saying, lol, oh, you an internet boy now. Disappointing. Before the phones came out, I bust your boy's face. You lot were running back to the kitchen. Man didn't even back out no phone. Man replied to his boy bleeding by dashing Fanta, which is a soft drink in the UK. And here he is tweeting. These guys always fool in the public, no real heart. Man called me a clout chaser. I've been airing these guys. They've been saying my name in their songs every second. Even the ones I don't know. I'm out. Desi from OFB replied to this saying, that was some dead walkhouse scrap. He means prison house. You weren't even on it, and your friend that's 28 years old was waving his camera screaming around like some gal. With Desi going on to say, you yourself, when Heady told you look at your friend waving the camera when we're supposed to get it cracking, you looked back and didn't say a thing. I saw in your eyes the disappointment. Don't come here and cap for the net. Anywho, after the fight, some of the OFB boys, including Frogger and Heady One, were seen still in Dubai, I assume after having been removed from the plane, and as some rumours said, having been arrested and put in jail for a brief period.
Bruv, don't listen to everything you hear. My man's coming there now. Bruv, who took a violation, bro? What's man talking about? Man are talking shit, bro. Bruv, man are lucky that we weren't all there, innit? What, man see a two-man, Turner's there screaming, showing his just trying to snap video like Desi did fly kicking. Brother, come on, bro, you're getting fly kicked by a 19
This boy ain't got no socks on.
26, 27-year-old man. Like, what's man talking about, bro? Everyone's just chatting bare shit. And then what? I'm seeing all you people trying to post up. You lot are... Yeah, I know you shit. Turner, you was just a video, man. And everyone's getting excited. Man, they're trying to say, Heady, the Desi head bus, this, that. Bruv, where's the bus head? Where's the bus head? Come on, man, just chat bare shit, man.
However, in spite of claims that they've been to jail, Frogger made a post seemingly suggesting that they had gotten out, with Bando K later posting snaps of him leaving the country, confirming that he had been to jail and that he would have stayed in Dubai if they hadn't locked him up, so fuck this place for a while. Going on to suggest that he was actually due to be there next week, but he's probably never coming back, possibly related to an outstanding legal issue because of this fight. Was Bando out here looking like he was kind of doing the race like some sort of Arabic KK? Tion Wayne also posted saying no one's been arrested, and Turner managed to flip the situation into a W very quickly, slapping together a song and a video about the situation called Flight Mode. Fortunately, no one was hurt in this exchange, but it was yet another reason for these two constantly warring sides to continue beefing and having public issues with each other. And that would continue on in music as we get to 2021, which is of course the year that Tion Wayne takes over the entire rap game. In 2021, the complex and intertwined beats
this is
of
the longest video ever.
Still raging. Following the split after the fight between SJ and the MPK members in court, MPK pull up on the Broadwater farm blocks, filming music videos at iconic beef locations in an attempt to disrespect their former friends. Putting purple MPK bandanas on the sign, something that 3x3 had apparently done before. As well as going as far to go and film in front of that Nando's in Wood Green, where witnesses filmed SJ and MPK members running away from the K1 murders holding knives. They also went to the spot where Lamps got shot and Edmonton Green Station. This ended up being the music video for their track Exposing Ops 2.0, which was quickly taken down from YouTube for inciting violence. And this is kind of no surprise, seeing as the lyrics of the song had Sneaks claiming that he gave SJ a black eye in that courtroom fight. They say that they're FBK or farm block killers, and even seeming to claim responsibility for the Ispol eye stabbing incident. But while the ops are going low, at least Heady One is going high. On the 12th of February 2021, Heady finally releases his debut studio album Edna, which goes #1 in the UK album charts. This must have been a huge point of pride for Heady, especially considering the fact that the album was named after his deceased mother, Edna, who sadly didn't get to enjoy her son's success. To me, this really is the moment that Heady One proved to himself and the entire world that he is far more than just a drill rapper. He is a true artist who evolved, moved forward, and clearly has what it takes to survive in the modern music industry. But sadly, whilst his youngers, Bando K and Double L's, were still pushing forward with the music, by 2021 holding a whopping 5 chart entries, including their protest song BLM with Abracadabra, but sadly they were still being targeted in the street. On the 8th of May 2021, a massive brawl and stabbing goes down inside of one of London's most famous and historical department stores, Selfridges. It's unclear exactly what went down. A knife is pulled, a mannequin is thrown, and Bando K and Ispop are seen in the altercation, which was caught on camera. Again, too violent to show you on YouTube. 8 people are arrested, including Bando K, who fortunately gets out quickly and posts up on Snapchat. Funnily enough, their ops over in the 9 are having a very different time of things in 2021, because in March, Tion Wayne drops another collaboration with Russ, the song Body, that is an instant classic. Tion Wayne's Body ends up going to #1 in the UK singles charts, becoming the very first drill song in history to go #1 in this country. That's the kind of body I like to see drill rappers catching. Of course, the Daily Mail will trash them, saying a gangland drill song has gone #1, or how bad that is. But hell, if they thought Tion Wayne having a #1 song about doing grievous bodily harm to your ops and swinging a shank at the pagans was bad, wait until they hear the remix. Because a little while after Body dropped, in a last-minute dash to pick up more spins to secure that #1 spot, Tion Wayne dropped an all-star remix to the song Body. Now, this remix was mainly overshadowed by the big-time debut of RD, aka H, with elocution lessons, dropping bars about shagging girls sans condoms. Another highlight of this remix was Fabio Foreign's appearance, popping up like he's on some kind of New York UK drill exchange program, and embarrassing our whole country by using his 8-bar verse on the biggest song in UK drill history to reference a fictional UK driller, Roadman Shaq. You know, man's not hot. Nice one, Fabi. But of course, the real grease came from the real
Y'all let me know down below, just before this video over. Y'all let me know if y'all like Fabio. I don't really like Fabio. I don't know why. It's his voice for me. I'm be honest. It's his voice. I don't like his voice. I like Big Drip. Big Drip, and then there's another song. I can't remember the name of it. But there's a few songs that I like by him, but I don't really like his voice.
With Tion bringing through the 3x3 rappers E1 and ZT, who appeared on the remix giving a healthy dose of street credentials and disrespect for the ops. Using the track to rebuff OFB's frequently used claim, anything green get bun, saying it's a cap because no one from 3x3 is being shot. Surely you'd think that after bagging a #1 hit song, Tion Wayne had truly gone clear. He wouldn't ever need to gangbang or throw up the green flag ever again, right? Well, a little while after Body topped the charts, Tion Wayne was actually spotted out with a tank. Some people thought Tion Wayne had used some sort of GTA cheat code, spawning a tank and perhaps unlimited ammo, to finally put an end to this beef once and for all. And it was a smart time to do it, because Tion had made sure that he had already 100%ed the music industry before using cheats. Jokes aside though, it turned out that this big old green tank was actually just a prop for the music video of Tion Wayne's new single, Wow. With this releasing on the 3rd of June, the music video was looking like a straight up Grove Street block party, with Tion bringing through the whole 9 and a whole lot of green, I assume as another massive taunt to his rivals. Combine that with lyrics about ops struggling on the O and not being able to defend their block, Young G shooting up north, and even ending the song by saying the whole 9's confused when he says free SJ, an apparent reference to the fact that both OFB and 3x3 both have incarcerated rappers that go by the name SJ. So, this is where the story ends. I'm here at the Hollywood Bowl in Wood Green, the location where Lamps was murdered. He was only 19 when he was killed, and he had his whole life ahead of him, only a couple of years younger than the likes of K1 and Kobe. Take that along with the fact that Boogie B and SJ from OFB was sentenced to decades in prison before they had even turned 18. Just going to show you that the road life is truly a dead end. Thankfully, the likes of Tion Wayne and Heady One were able to get out of this difficult environment with #1 records to their names and millions of pounds in the bank. I just wish that the people involved in this feud could set things aside and let each other live. But then again, when there's been this much bloodshed, it's hard to imagine that everyone involved will just let things go. I know a lot of people look up to the drill rappers that we've discussed in this story, but the reality behind those lyrics isn't fun or exciting. It's actually very sad, heartbreaking, and filled with loss. So if there's one takeaway I want to give you from this video, is that you shouldn't convince yourself that you're a fan of the streets, or the drills, or the gangs, but really, just be a fan of the music and let people get on with their lives.
He just told us more information about Lamps, but I'm still like, when did he say it in the video? Because like 1 minute he talking about Lamps to kill somebody, and then the next part of the video he talking about Lamps grave. Like, well, when did this, where was I at? Because I know I watched this video. Unless he said it real quick and then he got to something else, but I will figure that out once I edit this video later. But smash the like button, comment something you want to see below, and subscribe and click the bell and join the gang. If you're new, then definitely subscribe because we're going nowhere but up. Follow me on my social medias. Definitely follow me on my Instagram, _is Tania's World, and follow me on my TikTok, is Tania's World. Remember, it's T gang or no gang. We out.